The night was cold and quiet. Broken lights flickered on the empty street. Old buildings stood like tired giants watching the city fall apart. Wind moved trash along the road, and the sound echoed through the dark. A small girl stood near the corner of the street. She was thin and weak. Her clothes were torn and dirty. Her shoes were too big and one lace was missing. Her hair was messy, falling over her tired face. She had not eaten since morning. In her hands she held a small toy. It was old. One arm was missing. The paint was almost gone. But she held it carefully like it was something very precious. This toy was the last thing she owned. The girl stepped forward and spoke in a soft voice. "Toy for food, please." People walked past her. Some looked away. Some did not even notice her. A man pushed her aside without stopping. A woman shook her head and walked faster. The girl did not cry. She was too tired for tears. She moved closer to the light, hoping someone would see her. Her stomach hurt. Her legs felt weak. Still, she held the toy out with both hands. Then she felt it. Someone was watching her. She looked up. A tall man stood across the street. He wore a long dark coat. His face was half hidden in shadow. The street light above him flickered, making his shape look strange, almost unreal. He did not move. He did not speak. He just watched. The girl felt scared but also curious. This man was different. His eyes looked calm. Too calm. Like he was not afraid of the dark or the city or anything at all. She slowly walked toward him. "Sir," she said quietly. "Toy for food." She lifted the toy higher, showing it to him. The man looked down at the toy. Then he looked at the girl. His eyes studied her face, her hands, her shaking legs. It felt like he was not just looking, but reading her. After a long moment, he reached into his coat. The girl's heart jumped. He pulled out money. He placed it gently into her hand. Her eyes grew wide. This was more money than she had ever seen. "Thank you," she whispered. She tried to smile. She gave him the toy. The man took it. But he did not leave. He stood there, holding the broken toy in his hand, staring at it like it was something important. The girl turned away, ready to run to buy food before the shops closed. Then she noticed something strange. The man looked up at the sky. He tilted his head slightly, as if listening to something no one else could hear. The street light above him flickered again. The girl stopped. She turned back. "Sir?" she asked. The man slowly looked down at her. For a moment, his eyes reflected light in a strange way. Almost like glass. Almost like stars. "Are you alone?" he asked. His voice was calm, deep, and gentle. The girl nodded. "My parents are gone," she said. "I sell toys now." The man was silent. Around them the city felt empty. No cars passed. No people spoke. It was like time itself had slowed down. "You gave up your last thing?" the man said. "Why?" The girl shrugged. "I was hungry," she said simply. "And you looked kind." The man's hand tightened around the toy. Kind. That word seemed to stay in the air. Above them, far beyond the clouds, something moved. The man's eyes changed. Not in a way humans would notice easily. But something inside him reacted. A signal. A call. The girl did not see it. But the man did. A small light blinked inside his coat, hidden from human eyes. The decision time was close. "You should go," the man said softly. "Buy food." The girl nodded and took a step away. Then she stopped. She turned back and looked at the toy in his hand. "It was my favorite," she said. "Please take care of it." The man froze. No one had ever said that to him before. "I will," he replied. The girl ran toward the light, holding the money tightly. The man watched her until she disappeared into the street. Then he looked at the toy again. A broken toy. No value. No power. And yet, it meant everything. He raised his head and looked at the sky once more. "This world is not empty," he said quietly. Far above Earth, unseen by humans, massive shapes moved in silence. The test had begun. And it started with a small girl. And a broken toy. The man did not leave the street after the girl was gone. He stood under the flickering light, holding the broken toy in his hand. Around him, the city slowly returned to life. Distant voices, moving shadows, and the sound of machines filled the night. But the man stayed still. He pressed his thumb against the toy's cracked surface. His eyes changed again just for a moment. A thin light passed through them, invisible to human eyes. Data flowed through his mind. The girl's body was weak. Her hunger level was dangerous. Her chances of survival were low. That was unacceptable. The man turned and walked into the darkness. He moved differently than humans. His steps were quiet. His body never touched trash or broken glass. Cameras on the street failed when he passed under them. Screens blinked and went black. From inside his coat, a soft pulse of light appeared. He touched it. The world around him slowed. Time did not stop, but it bent. He scanned the area. Heat signs appeared. Heartbeats. Breathing patterns. Human emotions. Fear was everywhere. So was anger. So was pain. Earth was sick. That was why he was here. High above the planet, hidden beyond human sight, a massive alien fleet waited in silence. They had watched Earth for many cycles. Wars. Lies. Weapons. Greed. The Council believed humans were dangerous. The man had argued otherwise. So he was sent down alone. One observer. One test. He followed the girl's path. She was inside a small shop, holding a piece of bread with shaking hands. She ate slowly, afraid the food might disappear if she rushed. The man watched from across the street. He could have left. The test did not require him to care. But he stayed. Outside the shop, a group of older boys walked by. Their eyes locked onto the girl through the window. Hunger was not the only danger in this city. The man's hand closed into a fist. He stepped forward. One of the boys suddenly stopped. He felt something cold in his chest. Fear. Pure and sharp. He did not know why. "Let's go," the boy said quickly. They walked away without looking back. The girl never knew how close danger had been. Later that night, she curled up under a broken bridge. The man watched from above, standing on the edge like a shadow. He activated a small field. The air grew warmer around her. Her breathing slowed. She slept. The man looked at the toy again. Why had she given it away so easily? On his world, nothing was given without return. Kindness was measured. Trust was earned through power. Humans were different. As the sky began to lighten, the man received a signal. A voice spoke inside his mind. "Observer," the voice said. "Report." He closed his eyes. "She was starving," he answered. "She offered her last object for food. She showed no anger." "Insignificant," the voice replied. "One child does not define a species." "She thought I was kind," the man said. Without proof. There was silence. "Continue observation," the voice ordered. "Judgment approaches." The signal ended. The man opened his eyes. In the distance, human soldiers moved through the streets. Machines followed them. Drones scanned the sky. Earth was preparing for a war it did not know was coming. They would lose. The man knew that. Yet he felt something new. Doubt. He walked through the city as the day began. Humans shouted, traded, argued, survived. He saw a woman share water with a stranger. A man lift a fallen child. A group rebuild a broken wall together. Small acts, but many. The alien fleet wanted strength. Humans showed something else. The man returned to the bridge. The girl was awake now. She sat quietly, holding her knees. She looked up. She saw him. For a second, fear crossed her face. Then she smiled. "You came back," she said. "Yes," the man replied. She looked at the toy in his hand. "You kept it," she said. "I did," he answered. She nodded as if that mattered. Above them, clouds moved slowly. Behind them, the city prepared. And far beyond the sky, the countdown to judgment continued. The man who was not human stood beside a human child. And for the first time, he hoped the council was wrong. The sky above Earth looked normal. Blue in the day, dark at night. But it was not empty. Far beyond the clouds, beyond the satellites and space stations, huge shapes floated in silence. They were hidden by advanced fields, unseen by human eyes. The alien fleet had arrived. Inside one of the massive ships, light moved across smooth walls. Tall figures stood in a wide circle. Their bodies were not human but close enough to understand fear, logic, and power. This was the council. They watched Earth through endless streams of data. Wars, crime, hunger, weapons. Primitive, one voice said. Dangerous, said another. They destroy their own world, a third added. At the center of the circle, a symbol glowed. The observer's mark. The man on Earth. Observer, the council spoke together. Your report continues. The man stood in the city, unseen by those around him. Time slowed again as the connection opened. Humans are divided, he said. But not empty. Explain, the council demanded. They help without reward, he replied. Even when they have nothing. The council was silent. Isolated behavior, one member said. Not species-wide. The man thought of the girl. Then give them time, he said. Let me continue. The symbol pulsed. Time is limited, the council warned. Judgment will not wait. The link closed. The man felt the weight of the decision pressing down on him. Below, Earth moved on. The girl walked beside him through the street. She did not ask who he was. She did not ask where he came from. She just walked holding a small piece of bread. People look angry today, she said. They are afraid, the man replied. Of what? Change. Above the city, military aircraft passed through the sky. Soldiers blocked roads. Screens showed warnings in red letters. Unidentified objects detected. Global alert level raised. People stopped and stared. Panic spread fast. The girl held the man's coat. Is it bad? She asked. He looked down at her. Yes, he said honestly. The city shook as a distant explosion echoed. Not an attack. A test weapon. Humans showing force to an enemy they could not see. The man knew it meant nothing. He looked up. The fleet remained still. Watching. Judging. In a command room far away, human leaders argued. Some wanted war. Some wanted peace. None truly understood what was coming. On the street, normal people reacted differently. A shop owner handed out food for free. A woman pulled strangers into her home. A group of men formed a line to protect children. Fear revealed truth. The man watched carefully. This was data the council could not ignore. The girl looked at the sky. Are they watching us? She asked. Yes, he answered. Why? To decide if you are worth saving. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, That's not fair. The man felt something move inside him. No, he agreed. It is not. As night fell, the sky changed. A faint shape appeared behind the clouds. Not clear, but wrong. People screamed. Phones recorded. Social networks exploded with fear. The alien fleet allowed itself to be seen. Just a little. A warning. The man felt the council's presence again. Observer, they said. Final phase approaches. He clenched his jaw. Look again, he said. Look closer. We are, the council replied. Below, the girl stood in the open street. She looked small under the vast sky. She raised her hand. Not in fear, but in greeting. The man's eyes widened. What are you doing? He asked. If they are watching, she said, they should see we are not monsters. Around her, others slowly followed. People stepped forward. Hands raised. Not weapons. Not fists. Hands. The man sent the image to the council. A silent street. A frightened world. And humans choosing courage. The fleet did not move. The council did not speak. For the first time, Earth was not begging. It was showing. And the judgment was no longer certain. The city did not sleep that night. Lights stayed on. Sirens cried in the distance. The sky above looked heavy like it was pressing down on the world. The alien shapes were still there. Not attacking. Not leaving. Just watching. People stayed indoors, hiding behind walls and screens. Fear moved through the streets like cold air. The man stood on a rooftop looking at the silent ships above. The council was quiet. That silence was more dangerous than any threat. Below him, the girl walked alone. She should not have been outside. But fear did not stop her. She looked around the empty street, holding something close to her chest. The toy. She had taken it back from the man earlier that day. He did not stop her. Now she walked with purpose. She stopped near the open square, the same place where the man had first met her. The air felt strange there, heavy with unseen eyes. She waited. The man appeared beside her as if the shadows formed him. You should not be here, he said. I know, she replied. She looked up at the sky. They are still watching, she said. Yes, the man answered. She looked down at the toy in her hands. The broken arm. The faded paint. This saved me once, she said. But I think it is for something else now. The man said nothing. She took a step forward and placed the toy on the ground between them. You can have it, she said. I already bought it, the man replied. She shook her head. This time it is not for food. The man felt a strange pain in his chest. Then why? He asked. She looked around the empty city. Because if they are judging us, she said, they should see what we give when we are afraid. Above them, a light moved inside the alien ships. The council noticed. The man felt the connection open. Explain the action, the council demanded. She is giving without need, the man replied. Without gain. Emotion, the council said. Weakness. No, the man said quietly. Choice. The girl stepped back. She looked at the man and smiled. You helped me when I had nothing, she said. Now I help you. The toy lay on the ground. Small. Broken. Powerless. But it carried meaning no weapon could hold. The sky trembled. A low sound rolled across the city. People screamed and ran. Buildings shook as energy passed through the air. The man raised his hand. A shield formed around the girl. She did not run. She stood still. Are they angry? She asked. They are deciding, he said. A beam of light touched the square. Not a weapon. Scan. It moved over the toy. Over the girl. Over the man. Data flowed to the council. This child shows no fear response, one voice said. She should, another replied. But she does not, the first answered. The beam faded. The sky grew dark again. The man looked down at the girl. You may have changed something, he said. She shrugged. I just did what felt right. Sirens stopped. The city held its breath. Then something unexpected happened. A man stepped into the square. Then a woman. Then another child. They carried small things. Food. Water. Blankets. Toys. They placed them beside the girl's toy. No one spoke. They did not look at the sky. They looked at each other. The man sent the image to the council. Observe, he said. Silence followed. Long. Heavy. Then a new message came. Human behavior is inconsistent, the council said. Yes, the man replied. That is why you cannot predict them. The girl looked up at him. Did we fail? She asked. He looked at the growing pile of simple gifts. No, he said. You reminded them who they are. Above Earth, the alien fleet shifted slightly. Not forward. Not back. But waiting. And the girl who once sold a toy to survive had just offered something far greater. A reason to believe. The square was no longer empty. People stood together in silence. No signs. No weapons. Just small things placed on the ground. Food. Water. Clothes. Toys. The city was still afraid. But it was not frozen anymore. The man watched carefully. This was not planned. No leader had called them. No order was given. Humans had come on their own. Above them, the alien fleet shifted again. The council observed every movement. They gather, one voice said. Possibly a threat, another replied. Analyze intent, a third ordered. The man felt the connection open inside his mind. They are not preparing for war, he said. They are showing who they are. Words, the council answered. Show us proof. The man looked at the girl. She stood at the front of the crowd. Small, thin, but calm. She looked up at the sky, then back at the people around her. No one told her to speak. She did it anyway. We are scared, she said. Her voice was quiet, but the square was silent enough to hear her. We don't know who you are, she continued, or why you are here. People listened. But we know what it means to be hungry, to be alone, to be afraid. She pointed to the ground. So this is what we do, she said. We share. The man felt something tighten in his chest. Around the square, people nodded. Some cried. Some held hands. Above, alien sensors focused on the girl. No deception detected, one council voice said. Emotional behavior does not equal value, another argued. The man stepped forward. This is not emotion alone, he said. This is choice under fear. The council was silent. Suddenly, military vehicles rolled into the streets. Soldiers moved fast, shouting orders. They raised their weapons toward the sky. The crowd tensed. The girl turned and looked at the soldiers. Please, she said. Not like this. A soldier hesitated. His hands shook. He looked at the people. At the children. At the small gifts on the ground. Slowly he lowered his weapon. Others followed. The alien fleet recorded everything. Human command structure is unstable, the council said. Yes, the man replied. But their hearts are not. The sky changed again. A massive shape moved closer, visible to everyone now. Its surface glowed with unknown light. People gasped. Some fell to their knees. The girl stayed standing. A voice echoed across the city. Not loud but everywhere. Species of Earth, it said. You are being judged. Fear swept through the crowd. The girl took a step forward. We know, she said. The voice paused. You are weak, it said. Divided. Violent. She nodded. Yes, she said. Sometimes. The man watched the council react. Confusion. Debate. But we help each other, the girl continued. Even when we don't have much. She held up the broken toy. This has no power, she said. But it saved me. Because someone cared. Silence followed. The alien voice spoke again. Observer, it said. Do you support this statement? The man did not hesitate. Yes, he said. I do. The council argued among themselves. Risk, potential, uncertainty. Then the girl spoke one last time. If you destroy us, she said, you will be strong. She looked up, unafraid. But if you spare us, she said, you will be right. The words traveled through alien minds, through logic, through cold calculation. The fleet did not attack. It waited. Humanity had spoken. Not with weapons, not with threats, but with truth. And the final judgment was closer than ever. The sky burned with quiet light. The alien ship hovered above the city so large it blocked the stars. Its surface moved like living metal. Every human could see it now. Every human could feel it. The voice returned. Species of Earth, it said. Final judgment begins. The crowd stood still. Some cried. Some prayed. Some held each other's hands. The girl stood at the front. She was small under the massive ship, but she did not move back. Inside the ship, the council argued. They are dangerous, one voice said. They show potential, another replied. Potential does not remove risk, a third warned. Data flowed across the chamber. Wars, science, art, sacrifice. The observer stood in the center of it all. They are imperfect, he said. So are we. Silence followed. Below, the beam returned. It scanned the crowd again. This time it went deeper. Memories surfaced. A mother sharing food. A stranger saving a child. A soldier lowering his weapon. The council felt it. Emotion was not data. But this was pattern. Explain the child, one council member said. She is not special, the observer replied. She is common. That statement shook them. If this is common, another voice said, then the species is unpredictable. Yes, the observer said. And that is their strength. The voice from the ship spoke again. Why should you be spared? No leader answered. No general stepped forward. The girl did. Because we learn, she said. Even when we fail. She looked around at the people. We fall, she continued. But we help each other get back up. The council analyzed her words. No lies. No fear spike. No manipulation. Just belief. You will grow stronger, the alien voice said. You may become a threat. Yes, she replied. The honesty surprised them. But today, she added, we choose to be kind. The beam stopped. The ship remained still. Inside, the council reached a decision. Not full trust. Not full destruction. Something new. The observer felt the signal. Observer, the council said. Step forward. He did. You were sent to judge, they said. Have you changed? Yes, he answered. Why? He looked down at the girl. Because they remind me of who we were, he said. The council considered this. Long. Then the ship spoke again. Final decision made. The city held its breath. The girl closed her eyes. The observer stood beside her. And humanity waited to learn. If its heart was enough. The silence was heavy. The alien fleet hung over the city like a shadow that could crush everything. Every human below felt the tension in the air, the unspoken question. Will we survive? The girl held the broken toy in her hands. Its faded colors and missing arm made it look useless, but to her it was priceless. She looked up at the massive ships above. Her heart beat fast, but she did not flinch. The stranger stood beside her. Not human, but not fully alien either. He looked at the girl, at the crowd, and at the ships hovering above. A strange calm surrounded him. The calm of someone who had seen more than the human I could imagine. Then the voice came again. Species of Earth, it said. Your judgment is complete. People froze. The girl's hands tightened around the toy. Are we saved? She whispered. The stranger bent slightly and whispered back. Yes. But only because you showed them what humans truly are. Humans had fought. Humans had cried. Humans had feared. But humans had also helped one another. That simple truth, the council realized, could not be measured with weapons or strength. It could only be seen through heart. The alien fleet shifted slightly. Not to attack. Not to leave. But to acknowledge. Earth was spared. Not because it was strong, but because it had hope, courage, and kindness. The stranger turned to the girl. You changed more than them, he said quietly. You changed me. The girl blinked. Me? She looked down at the toy. I just gave what I could. That is enough, the stranger said. Even a small act can echo across worlds. A soft glow appeared around him, barely visible, like the edges of a light bending reality. The council, watching from their distant fleet, saw the human act of giving and realized the weight of choices made under fear and hunger. The girl smiled. For the first time in days she felt safe. People around the square started to breathe easier, some crying tears of relief, some hugging one another. Humans had survived the ultimate test. The stranger turned back to the fleet. He raised his hand and a small device blinked softly. Waves of energy flowed toward Earth. Protective fields, invisible shields, quiet signals that would help humanity rebuild. No one knew they were there, but they would feel the results in time. The girl looked up at him. "Will you stay?" she asked. He shook his head slowly. "Not yet. My world has other plans. But I will always watch. And when Earth needs me, I will return." A quiet wind blew through the streets. The toy slipped from her hands, falling to the ground. He picked it up. "Keep it," he said. "It belongs to you." She held it close again. Something about the small, broken toy seemed bigger now, stronger. It was not just a toy, it was proof. Proof that even the smallest act of kindness could matter. The alien fleet began to withdraw slowly, disappearing into the sky. The city looked normal again, but everything had changed. People stood, staring at the horizon, feeling hope for the first time in a long while. The girl turned to the stranger one last time. "Thank you," she whispered. He nodded. "Humans are not the strongest species, but you are the bravest." With that, he vanished into the shadows, leaving only the broken toy and a promise of protection. The girl held it tightly, knowing the world was hers to live, to help, and to rebuild. And somewhere beyond the stars, the Council of Aliens recorded Earth's actions. They could not fully understand humans. But they knew one truth. Even in fear, humanity could shine brighter than any weapon, brighter than any fleet, brighter than the coldest darkness of space. The girl smiled. The streets, the city, the world, it all seemed alive now. And for the first time she felt the future was hers to shape. Humanity had survived the test. And the stranger had shown them the path. The toy in her hands was small, broken, and simple. But it carried a message that would last forever. Heart can defeat fear. Kindness can outshine power. And hope can change the stars.